Hi dear friends, welcome to the CSS Learners Academy. Russia is the country located at the northern border of Asia. Russia is also famous for its largest territory that it contains and also because of its influence in the international politics. Not only in the current situation or the contemporary history, it is also famous in the history of ancient or the medieval times. But talking about the contemporary history, we see that Russia was an empire being controlled by the system of monarchy, which was abolished by the Russian Revolution of 1917, followed by the Bolshevik Revolution in the same year. After that, the Soviets created a sort of a government which was later known as the Soviet Union or USSR. It was established in 1923. From 1923 until 1988, 89 or 91, as all 3 years are considered as the years when of the decline of Soviet Union, the state which existed in the northernmost border of Asia was known as USSR. It was dismantled in 1991 finally, and the foundation of current Federation of Russia was laid. The relationship between Pakistan and Russia have faced several ups and downs, and now we will discuss this lecture into 3 headings precisely. Number 1 would be the historical dimension, number 2 is the economic dimension, and number 3 will be the strategic dimension. Russia maintained diplomatic ties with Pakistan on 1st May 1948. Maintenance of diplomatic ties means accepting a country. So we can say that Pakistan was accepted as an independent sovereign country by Russia on 1st May 1948. As we see in the case of Israel, that now when the Israel made a deal with UAE and with Bahrain, the statement or the news headline you must have seen was that UAE established diplomatic ties with Israel. So maintenance of diplomatic ties means acceptance of a state. In the initial stages of relationship, we saw that the relationship was not good because the Soviet Union was supporting the issue of Greater Afghanistan or Pashtunistan. The issue which I have talked about in detail in the previous lecture. They were standing with the narrative of Afghan government regarding the Durand Line, and this created differences between the both countries. So we can say that in the initial stages 48, 49, 50 were the ages when relationship was not so good. Later on we have seen that there was another important factor as the Cold War was in the initial stages. As we know that Cold War was started after the establishment of United Nations in 1945. So in the initial stages of Cold War, both United States and USSR were looking forward to take as many countries into their bloc as possible. India and Pakistan were the 2 countries which got independence just recently. Both of them were decolonized from the British in August 1947. So US and USSR were looking forward towards maintenance of relationship with these countries. Pakistan accepted the invitation of United States to visit US in 1951. Prime Minister Nawabzada Liaquat Ali Khan was the head of the state who visited United States in 1951 on a 23 days long visit. During that visit, Pakistan and US signed agreements of mutual cooperation related to defense, economy and many other factors. Now that was a blow to the relationship with Soviet Union. On the same time, Soviet Union maintained relationship with India. Although India was not taken as the ally of USSR, but we have seen the growing relationship between India and Soviet Union when Pakistan established the relationship with United States. Then we see in the year 1954 that Pakistan signed a defense agreement with United States. This agreement is known as the Mutual Defense Assistance Agreement of 1954. That also resulted in the deteriorating relationship between Russia and Pakistan. Another famous incident happened which is known as the U-2 incident of 1960. U-2 incident was basically when the Soviets find out that America was carrying out spy operations over the territory of Soviet Union. That was not a good step, obviously, because we saw that the Cold War was at its peak. The proxy war at Korea that remained intact from 1950 to 1953, and then there was a war in Vietnam which was currently being going on in 1960, and at the same time there were several conflicts in Europe as well. So when Russians find out that Americans were carrying out the spy operations, they started an investigation, and the investigation resulted in the observation that the planes were actually flying from the Peshawar air base of Pakistan and the Shiraz air base from Iran. So that was something again which negatively influenced the relationship between the two countries. But this relation got better in 1965. In 1965, we have seen that a war was erupted between India and Pakistan, which ended up on the request of both USSR and US via Tashkent Agreement of 1966. But in this agreement, we have seen that United States did not remain neutral, but United States was actually helping India more than it should have been helping Pakistan. And that is not only a fact regarding the Tashkent Agreement, but during the war of 1965, we have seen that Americans, number one, the organization of SEATO and CENTO did not help Pakistan. Number second is that United States, in the capacity of a friend of Pakistan, did not help Pakistan. And number third is that United States imposed an embargo on Pakistan during the critical war. But on the other hand, the behavior of Soviet Union was very positive, and it remained neutral in the Tashkent Agreement when it did not side with India or Pakistan but remained neutral. However, in the war of 1971, we see that the things were changing. There were several reasons for that. Number one is that India was not happy with the decision of Russia to have a good relationship with Pakistan. Number second is that India was developing a nuclear weapon, and both US and USSR were aware of the fact, and they are going to develop the nuclear capacity soon. So that resulted in a kind of tilt of Russia more and more towards India. In the war of 1971, we saw that both countries engaged in the Indo-Soviet Treaty of Friendship, Peace and Cooperation that deteriorated the relationship of Russia with Pakistan. However, after the war of 1971, we have seen that Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was in power. Basically, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was a kind of a liberal man who did not believe that the relationship with US or the dependency on the US is going to help Pakistan in future. He was aware of the fact that US is just maintaining a kind of relationship which is only beneficial for US, and it is disastrous for Pakistan. He was also angry after the decision of SEATO and CENTO not to help Pakistan in her most crucial crisis. Therefore, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was a kind of a liberal and more tilted towards communism. We have seen that internally he has applied the economic policy which are more likely tilted towards communism, like nationalization of 1970s. So Zulfikar Ali Bhutto tried to maintain the relationship with Russia once again when the government of King Zahir Shah in Afghanistan was ended in 1973. The Russian influence in Afghanistan grew, as I have mentioned it earlier in the topic of Pakistan-Afghanistan relation. With the demise of King Zahir Shah, now Afghan government was supported directly by Soviet Union, and we did not want any kind of escalation of relationship with Russia. So Zulfikar Ali Bhutto invited Russians, and we see that in 1973 Pakistan steel mills were established at Karachi. Pakistan steel mills have always remained a very important pillar in stabilization of the economy of this country. So from 1973 we see that relationship was getting better until 1979. In the year 1979, the Afghan government invited Russians to help them against the growing militancy in Afghanistan, which was followed by an American plan of 1979 started in December 1979, known as Operation Cyclone. Pakistan, being an ally of United States, was directly involved in this endeavor, and that also negatively influenced the relation. Finally, Soviet Union was dismantled in 1991, and the following decade we have seen that there was no connection between both countries. American war, global war on terrorism, was started in the year 2001 and in the year 2003, because when global war on terrorism was started, Russia was in the stage of transformation. Prime Minister, the current president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, was elected as Prime Minister back in the year 2000. With his brilliant and intelligent mind, he started to transform Russia with different kinds of innovations, with maintaining new relationship with the other countries of the world, and he was concerned about the growth of Russians in all the spheres of life, including the military, the economy, the strategy, and everything. So in the year 2003, President Musharraf was on a visit to Moscow, and there we talked about maintaining our ties being the regional countries. But it was followed by an American action in 2004 when Pakistan was granted the status of a major non-NATO ally, MNNA. Major non-NATO ally is a status that has been given to Pakistan because of the global war on terrorism that was going on in Afghanistan, and Pakistan was helping United States. So this was the first thing, and the second thing was the growing relationship between Pakistan and Russia, which is a nightmare for India and United States both. Although India and US were maintaining relationship, from a kind of shadow diplomacy was being used, but here in the case of Pakistan and Russia, both countries tried to create as many obstacles as possible. Afterwards, on the invitation from Pakistan, Prime Minister of Russia, Vladimir Putin, visited Pakistan in the year 2007, and in 2011 we have seen that Russia endorsed the Pakistani bid to join the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And finally, in the year 2014, we saw that an arms embargo which was in place by Russia on Pakistan was lifted, and now Pakistan was able to purchase arms from Russia directly. That was very, a positive step, in a sense that it changed the overall strategic scenario of the region. It was always believed that Pakistan could not build future relationship with Russia, or Pakistan would not be able to have any kind of influence on Russia. But this decision of 2014 changed that kind of narrative. Now we have seen that India was interested in purchasing S-400 from Russia, which Pakistan had objected that it will once again change the overall strategic balance of the region, and until this moment that sales have been halted. So this is because of the diplomatic relationship, or the maintaining or the growing diplomatic relationship between the both countries, which we will further talk about in the next topic, which would be the strategic dimension. And now we will talk about the economic dimension of Pakistan and Russia relations. So here I will explain the 9 points. Number 1 is the year 2014, when Russia and Pakistan signed a contract for the construction of LNG pipeline linking Lahore and Karachi, amounting to $1.4 billion. Number 2 is in the year 2018, when Pakistan purchased Mi-35 helicopters from Russia. Experts believe that the volume of bilateral trade between both countries have grown to an amount more than $800 million. Pakistan has repaid a debt of $93 million back to Russia. That was some kind of an obstacle in the maintenance of relationship, because Russia was worried about the financial inconsistency that would be a problem in furthering the relationship. Therefore, in the current government, it has paid a debt of $93 billion back to Russia, after which the Russians said that now we are looking forward towards furthering our relationship with Pakistan. Russia's Sukhoi Superjet 100 planes are going to be given to Pakistan on lease on both wet and dry lease basis. Now, what is the difference between dry and wet lease is that the dry lease means when only planes are given to a country without the crew. These planes will be able to be purchased by Pakistan on a later stage. The North-South gas pipeline project has now reached an amount of $2.5 billion. In the year 2019, we have seen that a 64 members delegation have visited Pakistan from Russia, and several memorandum of understandings were signed, and especially Russia announced the investment of $14 billion in Pakistan. That is the largest ever kind of investment that Russia will make in Pakistan, especially on the energy sector, and roundabout an amount of $1 or $1.5 billion is fixed for the north-south gas pipeline. Russia is also building a coal-powered plant inside Jamshoro, which has the capacity of 600 megawatts. And finally, Pakistan is creating a railway line from Quetta to Taftan with the help of Russians. So these are the modern economic dimension of the relationship. And now we will talk about third and the last heading, which is the strategic ties between both countries. Currently, we have seen that the relationship is getting better day by day. What are the requirements of Russia or the expectation of Russia from Pakistan, or what are the expectation of Pakistan from Russia? Why the relationship has developed at such a larger stage when there were many obstacles, especially the pressure of India and US on the both countries. So now I will discuss the common points between the two countries which has resulted in this kind of a betterment of relationship. Number one is the establishment of ISIS Khorasan in Afghanistan. Now we know that after the defeat of Daesh in Iraq and Syria, Daesh was relocated to Afghanistan. We have seen several incidents have occurred that whenever some territory under the control of Daesh was attacked by the Russian or the Syrian army, the commanders would be taken through the US helicopters, and finally they would end up being landing in Afghanistan. Iran, Russia, China, all of these newspapers have mentioned several news that Daesh is deliberately being re-established in Afghanistan, and it will negatively influence the region. So Pakistan was worried about the situation. Russia, with view of their own strategic interests, were also against. So this is a common factor between Pakistan and Russia, that peace in Afghanistan, stability in Afghanistan is a key for the development of this region. Therefore, both countries believe that ISIS Khorasan is a leading threat to the security of the region, currently based in Afghanistan. Number second point of this maintenance of this relationship is the betrayal of India and US respectively. India, being a partner of Russia, was in kind of an agreement that they are not going to maintain relationship with United States, as Pakistan agreed that they are not going to maintain relationship with Russia. As we all know that there is not any kind of a written agreement. I mean, in the current international system, no country can say to the other country that you cannot maintain relationship with the other country. But this is a kind of morality of the relationship, that if we have maintained relationship with a country, we cannot maintain relationship with the foe or the enemies of that country, and we can say that we are neutral. That is not neutrality. Basically, that is hypocrisy, which the Russians have faced in the case of India and Pakistan in the case of US. The US-Indo partnership has developed long ago, as I was talking about the war of 1965. and after that the acceptance of a nuclear India right on the border of Pakistan, that was I think a wrong step from United States, especially when Pakistan had very good ties with the US. Then in 1974, when India actually became a nuclear power, and US, instead of imposing any kind of sanctions, said to Pakistan that you should not follow the same road. Obviously that was inevitable. Pakistan had to do that, and United States did everything in their power to stop that. But the war of 1979 became the reasons that Pakistan is a nuclear power now. How Pakistan has developed the program because of that war, I will discuss that in the topic of the nuclear politics in South Asia. So here we have seen that because of the betrayal of these countries, Pakistan and Russia came together and they formulated a kind of relationship which is based on mutual trust, cooperation, and the strategic partnership, keeping in view the overall scenario of the region. Let me tell you something here, that the relationship between the countries is not like a kind of friendship or trust or something like that. There is no friend or foe in the international politics, but based on the strategic and economic interest. So when the strategic or economic interest of two countries are aligned to one another, you can say that they are going to be the partners forever, like we have seen in the case of Pakistan and China, and now in the case of Iran and China as well. So this kind of strategic dependency, strategic interdependency could result in the maintenance of the relationship as to be known as friendship. So in the case of Russia and Pakistan, now we see that the same situation is happening. The strategic interests of the both countries are aligned with one another, and that's why they are going to be good friends. The third important point is the Mutual Defense Agreement of 2014. In 2014, Russia did not only lifted the arms embargo on Pakistan, but it also signed a defense agreement of mutual cooperation. Now, defense agreement of mutual cooperation is something which is related to both countries. It not only means that Pakistan will help Russia whenever Russia is attacked, but Russia is bound to help Pakistan as well when there is a kind of attack on Pakistan. So this changes the strategic balance, and we see that the Indian relationship with the United States further grew with a fast pace after that. Ultimately, this resulted in the initiation of the military drills that happened in the year 2016. They are known as Druzhba in Russian language, or friendship, meaning of friendship in English, which started in 2016, and then we have these military drills on an yearly basis in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and now and currently in the year 2020. So another important dimension, as I was talking about the relationship of US with India, here we see that the intention of the Russians, being the part of the new Eastern Bloc, is to limit the influence of US in the Asian region. As I talk about in analysis video and in lectures videos as well, that a new bloc is currently under formation. The new bloc includes countries such as Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, Turkey, Malaysia, whereas the other bloc contains US, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, etc., the Arabian countries. So these kind of two blocks are formulating, and they are very clear. So Russians, when they are in this bloc, they want to limit the influence of Americans in this region, whereas Pakistan has to deal with the Indian hostility, the Indian aggression, and the Indian hysteric behavior about hegemony. So both countries are working on the same principle of limiting the aggression of India and US in this region. The development of Russian relationship with Pakistan has another dimension. Now they have developed a better relation with China and with Iran, when in 2014 Russians announced the installation of 8 nuclear power plants in Iran. So that resulted in a kind of close relationship between both countries. And now the last country in this region was Afghanistan, and we have seen that the peace in Afghanistan, peace deal has been signed, and American forces will ultimately be out of Afghanistan. So after that, this Afghanistan is more likely to be a part of the new bloc, including Pakistan, Iran, China and Russia. So this was another dimension when as to why Russia required a better relation with Pakistan. So keeping in view the overall situation, we can see that the relation is getting better, and instead of the efforts from the enemies of both countries, I would call them enemies, who do not want Pakistan to grow, regardless of their efforts, Pakistan is maintaining better relationship and a better foreign policy. Now we can say that the foreign policy of Pakistan is stable, as Pakistani military and civilian government are on the same page, and the one thing they are all keep worried about is the future of this country, the survival of Pakistan. So this was our lecture for today. A question can be expected because Pakistan is maintaining the relations with Russia, and with the view of the bloc which is under formation, I think that the question can be asked on Pakistan-Russia relations. So the history of the relations which I have defined, you will write down this in a form of paragraph in the background, and then you will address the question as asked. Inshallah, I will upload the videos about attending the paper as well. Thank you for watching the video. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.